Experts say that Ukraine will be able to defend Kharkov if two conditions are met. Video of U.S. armored vehicles sneaking into Ukraine's front lines, despite being continuously attacked by Russia. The U.S. Senator warned that Mr. Biden's decision increases the risk of nuclear war. Many countries congratulate the first female president in Mexican history. Experts say that Ukraine will be able to defend Kharkov if two conditions are met. According to ISW, Ukraine will defeat Russia and successfully defend Kharkov if it meets two conditions: being provided with additional air defense and removing restrictions on attacking targets on Russian territory with Western weapons. According to analysts at the U.S.-based Institute for the Study of War, ISW, the provision of additional air defense systems and the lifting of restrictions on attacking a series of military targets inside Russian territory with weapons produced by Western supplies remain vital for Ukraine to fend off Russian attacks on the city of Kharkov with glide bombs and missiles. Recently, more than 10 Western countries have partially or completely lifted restrictions on Ukraine using Western-supplied weapons to attack targets such as artillery positions and military concentration areas. Inside Russian territory and airspace, Ukrainian officials recalled that Kyiv forces shot down several Russian military aircraft near the front line in February, many of which carried out glide bomb attacks on the Avdiivka front. The ability to shoot down Russian warplanes in the frontline area suggests that Kyiv forces will likely repeat similar successes using both Ukrainian and Western systems to defend the northern part of the region. Kharkov and this city were exposed to glide bomb attacks, launched from Russian airspace. President Volodymyr Zelensky previously said that the Russian army would not be able to capture Kharkov if Ukraine received two Patriot air defense complexes to deploy in the region. Over the past few weeks, Russia has targeted the city of Kharkiv with glide bombs and various missile attacks. However, even in the case of receiving two Patriot complexes and deploying them in the northern area of Kharkov, Ukraine will still be secretive if they are not allowed to shoot at enemy aircraft in Russian airspace. ISW experts believe that if Ukraine meets the two conditions of having more anti-aircraft missiles and being allowed to attack targets within Russian territory, they can successfully defend Kharkov. Notable comments in ISW's June 2 report. First, President Zelensky met with U.S. and Singaporean officials, and he also highlighted the topic of the upcoming Global Peace Summit in the Shangri-La Dialogue, the leading defense and security forum. Asia, organized by the International Institute for Strategic Studies, IISS, in Singapore on June 2. Second, the provision of Western air defense systems and the lifting of restrictions on Ukraine's ability to attack military targets on Russian territory with Western-supplied weapons remain important for Ukraine to push repelled Moscow's attacks on Kharkov with bombs and guided missiles. Third, Ukrainian field commanders are said to be compensating for training difficulties exacerbated by troop mobilization by training new personnel right on the front lines. Video of U.S. armored vehicles sneaking into Ukraine's front lines, despite being continuously attacked by Russia. The U.S.-made Max Pro armored vehicle used by the Ukrainian army has proven its ability to withstand a series of direct attacks from Russia. According to Business Insider, despite experiencing at least 3 powerful explosions from Russian artillery fire, the Max Pro armor still successfully crept along the dirt road. The incident occurred in the Chasiv Yar area of Ukraine's Donetsk province, where there has been intense fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces in recent months. Sharing on social network. Max Pro was designed by the American company Navistar Defense and Plazan Sasa of Israel. This device is part of the U.S. Army's Mine-Resistant Ambush Protection (MRAP) program. According to Navistar Defense's website, Max Pro was built to protect soldiers fighting in Iraq from improvised explosive devices, IEDs. The vehicle has V-shaped armor to help deflect explosions and protect the crew. It is designed to counter fire from ballistic weapons, mines, IEDs, and other emerging threats. The car can accommodate 12 people. The single turret houses a 7.62 mm or 12.7 mm machine gun, and space for a gunner. In 2023, the U.S. announced it would send 200 Max Pro vehicles to Ukraine. Since then, Max Pro has proven important to the Ukrainian military. The U.S. Senator warned that Mr. Biden's decision increases the risk of nuclear war. Senator James David Vance believes that U.S. President Joe Biden's decisions increase the risk of a new world war. I just talked to a friend I trust about what's going on in Russia. I think the risk of nuclear war is higher than at any time in my life. Mr. Biden is sleepwalking in World War III, Senator James David Vance wrote on social network X on June 2. Previously, in an interview with CNN late last year, Mr. Vance, a Republican senator from Ohio, said he opposed sending more aid to Ukraine because he did not believe that Kyiv would be able to overwhelm him. Okay, Russia. Mr. Vance also questioned why providing billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine would help Kyiv at this time in the conflict with Russia, when previous aid has not been able to end the conflict. According to him, the biggest benefit for America is to accept that Ukraine will have to cede some territory to Russia and need to end this war. Mr. Vance said that no one believes Ukraine can win a war with Russia, explaining that the main focus should be on ending conflicts and casualties in the region. Mr. Vance's warning about the risk of nuclear war came in the context of Ukraine asking the U.S. and Western countries to relax restrictions on the use of foreign weapons to allow Kyiv to use these weapons to attack Russian territory. On May 31, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said President Biden had allowed Ukraine to use weapons provided by the U.S. to attack targets inside Russian territory. However, White House National Security spokesman John Kirby stated that Ukraine is only authorized to target bases, artillery positions and other military sites that Russia is using to create some buffer type. The U.S. decision came after the Russian military launched a new offensive in Ukraine's eastern Kharkiv region last month and took control of several villages along the border. Mr. Kirby said that President Biden understood all the consequences of allowing Ukraine to use U.S. weapons for counterattack purposes. According to Mr. Kirby, President Biden has said that he does not want to be responsible for starting World War III and that the U.S. does not want a conflict with Russia, a nuclear power. On May 28, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that, when allowing Ukraine to conduct attacks on Russian territory, representatives of NATO countries should be aware of what game they are playing. According to Putin, Russia is closely monitoring such plans. Many countries congratulate the first female president in Mexican history. Former Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum became the first female president in Mexican history. Many world leaders have sent their congratulations to Mexico's president-elect. With 58.8% of the 82% of votes counted, 61-year-old Claudia Sheinbaum won the Mexican presidential election and became the first female president in the country's history. Ms. Sheinbaum is also the first woman to win a general election in North America, including the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Many world leaders sent congratulations to Ms. Claudia Sheinbaum after her victory last weekend. U.S. President Joe Biden said he hopes to work closely with President-elect Sheinbaum in the spirit of partnership and friendship reflected in the relationship between the two countries. Many countries congratulate the first female president in Mexican history. Former Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum became the first female president in Mexican history. Many world leaders have sent their congratulations to Mexico's president-elect. With 58.8% of the 82% of votes counted, 61-year-old Claudia Sheinbaum won the Mexican presidential election and became the first female president in the country's history. Ms. Sheinbaum is also the first woman to win a general election in North America, including the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Many world leaders sent congratulations to Ms. Claudia Sheinbaum after her victory last weekend. U.S. President Joe Biden said he hopes to work closely with President-elect Sheinbaum in the spirit of partnership and friendship reflected in the relationship between the two countries.